What's up, Big Brother 26 fans? This is your episode 10, Wednesday, August 7th, episode recap. The show opens up to right where we left off on Sunday after nominations. We know that Angela, Kenny, and Tucker were all nominated, and this is not a surprise to any of them. Mackenzie says that she kind of feels like a backdoor plan for Cedric. She does remind Cedric that if he uses her as a replacement nominee this week, she's just going to use her power and come down. So it's a waste and he'd be making an enemy. We then see Tucker and Chemo having a conversation. Tucker tells Chemo that Angela told him that Quinn has the power. Tucker says he doesn't believe her because he's always thought that Lisa had it. But because Lisa left and didn't use it, then maybe Quinn does have it. He's just spitballing here. But because Chemo has a little bit of a crush on Tucker, he actually confirms that yes, Quinn does have a power, and here's what it does. We have a long, unnecessarily needed segment of Kenny basically saying 1 minute he wants to go home, 1 minute he wants to stay in the game. We meet in the living room to find out who else is playing in the veto, and that is Mackenzie and Leah. The veto competition is called Recharge My Core. They basically have to take that bright neon colored core through this Amazon maze. They can hit the bamboo sticks, but if they hit the vines that are all over the place, they lose 5% of their core. It starts at 100%. And they have to make it to the other end and place the core here. The quickest that it goes and the most power still in it is the veto winner. We find out who the top three in the competition were: Mackenzie, Tucker, and Kenny. And with 85%, Tucker wins the veto. We find Tucker and Cam in the storage room. Tucker tells Cam that he has confirmed that Quinn is a power holder, and he lets Cam know what that power does. Both of them don't understand how they are in the Andersons alliance with Quinn, and Quinn has not told them about the power. Tucker then has an alliance meeting of the ball players. That's Tucker, Cedric, Cam, and Kenny. And he tells them he wants to give the veto to Angela and that Cedric should put up Quinn because he is the smartest player in the game right now. Tucker does make a really good argument in this segment, and then in a diary room session, Cedric basically tells us he has to weigh out his pros and cons. At the veto ceremony, Tucker gives his veto to Angela, who is very shocked and surprised. She was not in on this plan. House guests were also surprised. Tucker lets Cedric know that he now has to replace a nominee, thinking it's going to be Quinn. Cedric then actually puts up Mackenzie. This pisses Tucker off, and he lets Cedric know this was not the plan. He turns to Mackenzie and says, "You weren't supposed to be picked. I'm sorry." And Cedric just keeps saying, "I'm sorry, man." And Tucker tells Cedric, "I'm gonna win the AI arena, and then I'm coming after you." Tucker goes to tell the house guests that the veto ceremony is adjourned. Mackenzie stands up and says, no, it's not. She says she's using her veto on herself and pulls it out of the jacket. And our friend Miss Ainsley comes up on the screen. She pops up to let the house guests know that America's veto is now in play, and that America will be voting to see who the third nominee is going to be. And that person will not know who they are until Thursday's show right before the arena. Big Brother then finishes off and tells us that we are America's vote and says we can go vote for a house guest to be the renom now. I believe you get 10 votes. So I'm curious, who are you voting for? We'll see you guys tomorrow for the live show.